Good morning, everyone. We will get started with the presentation now. I want to thank you all for joining the Merrimack Valley Chamber this morning, starting your day with the Chamber for another Merrimack Valley Chamber webinar. We have a great program here. As you know, the Merrimack Valley Chamber, if you haven't been to a Women in Business program in person before, we're now doing it virtually during the lockdown and during the times we can't meet in person. And we appreciate you joining us today. As you know, the Merrimack Valley Chamber has been hosting webinars and virtual meetings since the lockdown. We've had 2 a week. If you're interested in signing up for any more of them coming up, feel free to visit merrimackvalleychamber.com. Click on webinars. We have a great networking one, opportunity for you to network your products and services this Friday at 10 a.m. Next week, we're going to be having one on cybersecurity. While you're home, while you have employees now working at home, how do you keep your information safe? That'll be taking place next week. And we also have a great one on how to reopen your offices for your workforce. A great HR presentation next Thursday. So those are all coming up next week and this Friday. You'll be seeing more and more coming up as well. And you just keep yourself updated, keep yourself informed by checking our website, merrimackvalleychamber.com, clicking webinars. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now YouTube as well. We'll be posting all those information there as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us again. This is a little different than our usual Women in Business programs, which we host quarterly and cap off with the Women in Business Conference. We also have Women in Business networking groups. So we appreciate you all joining us. When we do get back to the physical events, we can't wait to see you all there as well. But until that time, we have these events to host virtually. And we have to thank our sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do these programs without them. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Ali Howden from the Savings Bank. The Savings Bank has been the sponsor of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Women in Business Series for as long as I can remember, so we appreciate their support. And Ali's going to say a few words before we get going. Welcome, Ali.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Ali Houghton. I'm the marketing coordinator for the Savings Bank. And today from the Savings Bank, I'm joined with Karen Benedetti. She is our new VP of Marketing at the Savings Bank. The Savings Bank would like to start by thanking Merrimack Valley Chamber for holding the virtual event. This is a great way for us to still market when we're all stuck at home. And thank you to the 2 speakers today that have joined us. The Savings Bank has always been a proud sponsor of this event, and we're so glad that it can continue this way virtually. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate all the support, Ali and Karen. And like I said, we look forward to getting back to actual physical events in person. But until then, these virtual events offer a great opportunity. So we appreciate your support, and we appreciate the Savings Bank support of Women in Business as well. With that being said, we have 2 great guests today to do a presentation. I know we've seen them in the past. Now they have a new office as well. I know if you look at the walls in Trudy's office, that's her new office. We appreciate them joining us again for another presentation. And with that being said, I'm going to turn over to Women in Business, Trudy Lawlor and Tricia Sabulis from AP Michaud Insurance. Welcome.
Thanks, Mike.
Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to talk to you all today, give you our experience talking about the pandemic and balancing your home and your work life together. First, Trudy, do you want to just tell a little bit about our agency, who we are?
Sure. First of all, we are Michaud Insurance Agency. We are at 95 Ayers Street in Methuen, our new location. We've been in business for 40 years. As of December 1979, we started. We are a full-service insurance agency. We do home, auto, and all personal lines and commercial lines as well. I hope everyone has been staying safe and healthy during this time. I know it's been tough for everyone. I'd like to just welcome everyone and turn this over to Tricia, my daughter, who is technically and luckily for me, the face of our agency. So I'm going to pass it on to her for now, and I'll answer any questions at the end. Thank you. Tricia?
Thanks, Mom. So obviously you notice right there that we are a family agency. So Trudy and I work together, and my sister Kate is also in the agency at her Carlisle branch. So as we thought about what we wanted to talk about today, we realized that although this pandemic has been catastrophic to small and large businesses and the economy, there has to be something or multiple things positive that come out of it. I have a background in coaching, and I've always had this quote in my head that I really love to live by. And it is, there are no mistakes in life, only lessons. There is no such thing as a negative experience, only opportunities to grow, learn, and advance along the road of self-mastery. From struggle comes growth. That's a quote by Robin Sharma. And especially on there, from struggle comes growth. So how can we grow from this experience? We want to be able to grow stronger, both personally and professionally, and to find a balance between the two. I'm going to get into a little bit more about this, but being home, a lot of us have been home, working from home. We have kids. There's a lot of additional things that we've had to do, but we also have work in the background, and we want to make sure that we can find that balance so that we're no longer trying to do everything and not succeeding in anything, but actually succeeding in both. And I think that's a goal, whether we've gone through this pandemic or not. Everybody has had a difficult experience during this time. All of our stories are different. I'm just going to tell you my story and what I've gotten from this all. My husband and I have been home. He's been working and has been helping a lot, but we have a 5-year-old special needs child and a 1-year-old who literally never stops moving. I take my eyes off of her for 1 second and she is definitely in trouble. So watching the kids doing the schoolwork for my 5-year-old, I execute her electronic IEP. She has cerebral palsy, so I am her therapist. I'm her occupational therapist, I'm her speech therapist, and I'm her physical therapist. I'm chasing my 1-year-old and then squeezing in work when I could was really, really hard. Most of the time, I would be watching the girls during the day, and I'd do my work at night after they went to bed. But mostly I was forwarding things off to my coworkers and just focusing on any of my accounts that were renewing. But through it all, even though it was hard, I have to say that I really enjoyed it. I got to spend so much extra time with my girls. I took long walks with them every morning, and I would see my neighbors along the way and be like, this walk is for me. It is not for my children. I got to see what my 5-year-old was learning in school. Otherwise, I really have no idea what she's doing in school every day, except for the arts and crafts that come home with her. I got to listen to my 1-year-old's language explode. She's talking more and more every day. And these are things that I would have missed and just coming home at night and finding out about it. We were talking more with our neighbors. Our community has really come together, and dinner every night was on time with my entire family. And then we weren't rushing through bedtime. It was actually kind of great. But of course, work was falling behind, and I wasn't there for my employees and coworkers. As of last week, I finally have childcare, so both my husband and I are able to work, but I definitely feel like I'm missing out on all the fun. I keep asking myself, how can I balance these two worlds? How can I keep what I've loved about this, but also my work? I love my home life and I love my work life. I really feel challenged at work, and it's part of, what I love about being an agent. I wouldn't give up either for anything. So how can I find a balance that meets my needs and leaves me fulfilled and less stressed? I think personally, that is the takeaway here. Regardless of if you have a family or not, let's use this time to recenter and use the country's newfound understanding of how to slow down. How can we stay slowed down after all this and not resume our really fast-paced, busy lives where we're not really getting everything that we need? As I look back at some of the things that I loved about staying home, I decided that I needed to keep them even after going back to work. If all of you can just think about something that you love and need in your day outside of work, are you able to do it every day? And if that's the case that you aren't, how can you make sure that you can fit it in so that you stay less stressed and healthy and keep the things that you love? I loved the walk with my girls. How can I keep it? I loved having a dinner plan each night where I didn't have to figure out what everybody was eating, especially my kids. Taking a few minutes to sit down with my husband every day and really plan out our dinners. And we've been writing it on the calendar, and every night we have a plan and we sit down together, and it's been awesome. I loved getting to do all the school activities with my daughter and my 1-year-old, as long as it was edible. I had to do an activity that was edible because my 1-year-old does not understand that crayons are not to eat. But making sure I plan one for the weekends, even after this. Maybe I can't do it during the week, but I definitely can on the weekends, even if it's just one day. I'm a creature of routine. And usually if I build something into my routine, I'm able to stick with it. So these are my plans going forward. Just staying organized and getting in there. It sounds easy, right? So with that said, professionally, I like to think that I always see the opportunity when faced with new challenge. Just a story of our agency back in 2007, the insurance industry in Massachusetts introduced what we called managed competition with regard to the auto policy. It changed what was the same insurance rates with every insurance carrier to different rates with each company as long as it was approved by the state. So it was a really big change for the independent agent industry. And many agents in the community were worried about what the future held for the independent agents. But at Michaud Insurance, we saw that we finally had a great product to sell, and I was excited. Yes, I was excited for insurance. I don't use the word excited now because the devastation done by this pandemic is nothing to celebrate, but I do anticipate this new normal and with the coming changes. And I look forward to the new challenge and any opportunities that it might bring. It's a time to meet these challenges while holding on to all that I loved about the shutting down during this sheltering at home. So if I can find ways where I can be more organized and productive at work, more efficient, then I can find more time to continue those things that I loved at home with my girls. So what can we do with our businesses moving forward? We all have different businesses and you know it best. So obviously there are things that you are going to be doing. So these are just the take on what we are going to be doing in our agency. And, don't get me wrong, it's been very difficult. Trudy has, the whole time I've been working home, been managing the office. We had staff who were really scared, and clients that have been, losing money in their businesses and really, really scared. So it's definitely been a tough time. But moving forward, we want to take what's positive and figure out that way to go forward. So we've decided we're going to continue to communicate. Is it just our business, or have all of you also been in contact with your clients a lot more the past few months? We've all opened up with each other and commiserated. So the value of relationships and connections is really more evident. How many of you have chatted longer with your clients, your neighbors, or even family members on Zoom meetings before? Just because you go back to work doesn't mean this has to change. It should be incorporated into your work. Become a larger part of their lives than, in my case, just their insurance agent. I want to become a trusted partner if you haven't already. At our agency, we're discussing new technologies that can assist with this, which will also open up more time. New technologies to help us, we become more efficient. So maybe we can get home 15 minutes earlier and not have to rush as much through dinner, right? So an app for our insurance agency, a customer relationship management system that can automate all of our emails. That way we can send emails to people on their birthdays or anniversaries or any milestones that they might have. And because we're communicating more, we know about these things. For us, it's great to reach out to people on their renewals and even mid-year renewals. But sometimes in this busy workplace that we have, there's not always time to send out new and important information to our clients or fun things about the agencies. Like we just brought on 2 new employees and we're really excited about that and really excited to share it with our clients. Why shouldn't we do Zoom meetings with our clients? Why, before this pandemic, have I never Zoomed before? I love it. There are so many of our clients that I've never met in person because a lot of my clients are my age and we like to do everything fast and efficient and through email. Don't ever, call me. I'd rather you text me. And now there's a way for us to really connect face to face and get to know each other and explain an insurance policy. And we definitely need to take advantage of that. When we talk about communication and reaching out, it doesn't have to be with just your clients. As a small business, we feel that we have a responsibility to help our community and they need our help. As I mentioned before, this pandemic has brought people together. I mean, I've met so many more of my neighbors and had conversations and gotten to know them more than any time. And I've lived in my neighborhood almost 10 years. This has truly brought people together. We're more grateful and we're more thankful for our family, our friends, our neighbors, our essential workers, and our clients. And we've had time to show them. So let's not stop that. Give back if you can, and include your family for extra time together. Bring your family to a community event that you're sponsoring, or bring your family out to that restaurant that you're just grabbing takeout for because you're trying to help them through this. I think this downtime is also a great time to focus on things that most small businesses push aside. A small business owner, you really are everything, and if you don't have time for it, you're not going to do it. So don't push aside business planning. Either update your business plan or create it, a business and a marketing plan, so that you have a clear and concise path for our post-pandemic normal, whatever that's going to be. And I'm sure it's going to be different for every single one of us. A market analyst can help you target new opportunities in your current market, any new markets that you can penetrate now to this change, and then new partnerships or collaborators that you can get together with to enhance what you're offering your clients. It can help you strengthen your overall vision and mission, and how you can communicate that to your clients through your sales process. A focused plan and approach to growth helps keep you focused. It improves time management and organization, leaving you more time for a balanced work with your home life. In closing, I want to leave you with one more quote. This one's by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and you can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. And I hope that you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet new people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you are not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. And that's what I got. Any questions? Or Ryan, Mike, how do you want to?
Oh, thank you again for joining us, Tricia, for the presentation with Tricia and Trudy. We appreciate it. I lost my connection, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to ask Ryan to run the questions and answers. If you have any questions, you can just do so by hovering over your screen. You're going to see a red X at the bottom right. Don't click that. Move over to, and you'll see a little chat bubble. You can ask the questions to Tricia and Trudy there. You can also unmute yourself if you want to ask them. If you want to ask the questions. So, are there any questions and answers for Tricia and Trudy at this time? And while you're thinking of them, I'll ask one. How has your office been affected, and have you seen any changes with your customers as well, and what have you been doing to adjust to that?
I can answer that. It's been difficult because we had to adjust. Some of us are working from home and some are in the office. We, however, are not letting people come into the office. So, and I'm sure that's the case with everyone. So we're making adjustments on, how to get documents back and forth. And we're actually, doing some parking lot customer service. And it hasn't been nice out, so we've been standing out in the wind and rain, but we're working that way. We're doing our best to accommodate every different clientele we have. I mean, we have the young people and the older people. We've obviously put a box outside for people to drop things in, and we're just adjusting to each and every person's requirements. It's been a challenge, but it's been, like Tricia said, it's been a learning experience because we are learning different ways of reaching out to every single person, whether it be a phone call, an email, a Zoom meeting, just depending on the particular person and what their needs are, we're trying to meet them. And we're doing a good job, I think. I think we've on the end for our clients, I think we've done a seamless transition. I hope so. I think we have.
No, it's funny. Oh, I'm sorry. After you, Trish.
I was just gonna say, we were fortunate where before this all happened, I know there have been a lot of businesses and even insurance agencies that weren't set up for their staff to work at home. And, some industries have you have to have face-to-face transactions. And luckily for us, all of our employees were pretty much set up for working from home. A lot of what we can do is online. Sometimes, like I said, with these Zoom meetings, I've never even met any of my clients in person. So with the exception of a couple things like a registry form that needs to be stamped to register a car, anything notarized, the majority of our transactions can be done electronically, which has been fortunate.
No, it's funny. I was just talking with Trudy before the program got started, and we were talking about 2 months ago. We were, the Merrimack Valley Chamber was that new location, Methuen, for our ribbon cutting. I would have never imagined we doing stuff like this just 2 months later.
No.
But as with all the members we're talking to, it's you got to find a way to adjust. You just have to, and you guys are doing a great job at that. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm going to try to go back to my computer. So, Rand, can you check to see if anyone has a question?
Yeah, there's no questions in the box. Again, as Michael said, if you have a